Few seconds before the host unmuted your mic. Can you hear me? Good morning, everyone. If you're here a few seconds early. I just wanted to get the camera and get the broadcast going. If you are here, even whether you're watching it live or whether you're watching it later in the day, please say hello in the comments below. Give me some feedback. What do you think? Did you enjoy it or not? Any suggestions to make it better or things I should stop doing? But are we 7:45 yet? Not quite. Just after yesterday's show finished, I knocked over my full cup of coffee on my desk and it went everywhere. It was a nightmare. Got into my mouse and everything. But 7:45, good morning. Welcome to the Best Agent Breakfast Show with me, Charlie Lamdin. Happy Wednesday. Let me get rid of that graphic out of the way. On today's show, the news is that there's still no news. And in fact, there's been no news in this industry of any note for 20 years, I should say. And I'm not being facetious. Nothing has changed in 20 years. And if nothing's changed, then there's no news. And I put a question out on LinkedIn last night to my followers saying, can anyone think of anything that's actually made a difference in this industry in the last 20 years? And there isn't one. No one has yet come up with one. But this morning's story that caught my eye, there are a couple. So, say no to Rightmove. The Rightmove debate rumbles on for yet another year. And there's also a story about on the market development shaping by town halls where Jason Ted, the CEO, is going around to do physical meetings with agents. But it all comes back to the same thing. I want to talk today about why no one is going to actually be able to move Rightmove out of the way, okay? And any attempts to do so are completely futile until something happens. So fact number one, right? This is an unarguable mathematical fact. I don't care what you say, the numbers are there. Even if 10% of Rightmove's agents left every year, while their prices still keep increasing by 15% every year, they would still get more and more profitable every year, even if they lost 10% of their customers every year. That's fact number one. So they don't care if you're going to leave. They just don't care. You know, one account manager might give a small shit that you're leaving, but that's it, because it makes them look bad. No one high up senior at Rightmove really cares, right? So even if they lose 10% of their agents every year, they're still getting increasingly profitable because their price increase outstrips the number of agents trying to leave. Number two, mediocre agents, which is a lot, are totally dependent on Rightmove and nothing else. They literally use Rightmove as their only source of business, and they use it as how their properties get sent out to customers. They even use it as their website. When they have a new instruction, they send a link out on social media to their new instruction on Rightmove's website, okay? And I can see why it happens, right? It's a not ineffective strategy. And that just gives you the time to focus on actually talking to your customers. Your leads come from Rightmove, both your seller and your buyer leads. When you have a new instruction, Rightmove does the email out for you. Pretty simple, right? I mean, it's an underwhelming proposition if you are a client of that agent, and you're unlikely to get the best price from that agent if you're the mover. But that's what happens, right? And every year, thousands of new agents sign up with Rightmove. I think last year it was something like 5,000. We haven't seen the annual accounts yet. We'll find out. So reason number two, mediocre agents depend on it, will never stop using it, and new ones signing up use it all the time. But reason number three, why nothing has ever budged Rightmove, including on the market, and when that started, the whole point of that was to try and budge Rightmove, and what an own goal that was. I'll come on to that in a minute. The number one reason, I'd say it's number three, but it's actually the biggest reason why Rightmove is not going anywhere for a very long time, is because the estate agency community and the estate agency industry and the prop tech industry has done zero to create something new that is better than Rightmove in the eyes of the consumer. every single new prop tech offering comes out trying to get agents to sign up. So they design it for agents, what they think agents want, what agents say. But different kinds of agents need different things. And nothing ever comes out new for the consumer except for occasional gimmicks. And they never last and they go away. It's been over 20 years I've watched this happening. And just yet again. And there's another big one out there with gimmicks that doesn't solve any problem for the consumer and is wondering why it's not getting any traction with the consumer. So for busy agents with a large turnover of property, Rightmove still represents acceptable value. I think no one likes paying it. Even the corporates with their corporate discounts on Rightmove don't like paying it, but it still represents good value for them. And for everyone else, there's only one option, and this brings me on to my tip of the day. So, producer Sam, if you're there, can you? Oh, thank you very much. That was seamless. Everyone, producer Sam's behind the scenes today. My tip of the day, whether you use Rightmove or not, and most of you do, and there's nothing wrong with using Rightmove, by the way, is use it, but don't depend on it. Have other sources of business, of leads, of marketing that mean that Rightmove is just a nice to have for you, right? If you are dependent on Rightmove in your estate agency business, and if switching off Rightmove would mean the end of your business, then you have a big problem. You are vulnerable to them, completely vulnerable to them, and basically you're working for them. Because if you're an agent that's dependent on Rightmove, the amount you're paying them every year is probably a very large percentage of your gross profit, which must be hideous. And no wonder it's painful when the prices go up every year. All right. And the only way away from that is to develop alternative sources of business that mean that Rightmove is something that if you switched it off, yes, it might have an impact, but it's not going to kill you, right? That is my tip of the day. If you ever want to have a chance of Rightmove no longer holding a gun to your head every year on price moves, give yourself the option. I know lots of strong agents who've done that. They've come off Rightmove not because it didn't give them easy, because they got so fed up with how they were being treated. Wouldn't it be nice if all agents were in that position and say, no, we'll pay you, but we're not paying you whatever you say. You can't hold a gun to our head. But unless you've got a resilient enough business to do that, then every year you're going to be squealing when they put the prices up. Now, that brings me on to it segued quite nicely. So what was the best in the last 20-something years? What has been the best attempt or the best chance that ever came along? By the way, I'm not anti-Rightmove. I don't think Rightmove does anyone any favors. I don't think Rightmove helps the consumer one little bit. And it provides leads to agents, but it's not improving anything for anyone except itself. I would argue that Rightmove is actively worsening income inequality in several different areas, but the people who run it don't care. It's 25% owned by American hedge funds. They don't care about English agents, and they're effectively in charge, giving the directors of Rightmove their instructions of what to do, which is keep on cranking up the prices. They don't care about you. They just don't care. Okay, so the single best attempt, or that had the best potential to remove Rightmove, was when On the Market came along. But what happened? It was such a spectacular backfire that it actually strengthened Rightmove and weakened Zoopla, which at the time was Rightmove's only serious competition. And Zoopla has never recovered from that. So, and it was agents that were behind On the Market. It was such an own goal and a blinkered mistake. I mean, it's now a realistic, solid third place, and it's Jason Tebb seems to be doing a good job of getting agents to support it, which is great. But it's still nowhere near making a difference to Rightmove. Neither is Zoopla. So the one chance agents had of getting together in large enough numbers to do something that was actually going to beat Rightmove actually strengthened Rightmove. Okay, and guys, if you're wondering why I'm doing this breakfast show, okay, the Best Agent Breakfast Show, what's Best Agent all about? I have built Best Agent, and I'll go into it in other videos and maybe more in tomorrow's show. I have built Best Agent to begin to create a long-term alternative, not a replacement. I've got no intention of removing anyone or beating anyone, but just to have an alternative, fairer future. And let me define fairer, where the agents get instructions they deserve, and the agents who are getting instructions that they don't deserve don't get them anymore. More importantly, where movers find the right agent first time. And by right agent, I mean the one that actually gets the highest possible price for the property in the shortest possible time and actually delivers a move. That's why I've built Best Agent. I'll be going into more detail about that soon. Who have we got chatting here? Okay, Mark. Thank you, Mark Graham. What about Zoopla? Yes, just to recap, Zoopla actually probably had the best chance of hurting Rightmove or competing with Rightmove until OTM came along. Please give me your feedback on what I've said today. Give me your thoughts, give me your comments, give me your questions. Maybe it's a discussion to go into more tomorrow. If you'd like to do that, that would be great. Otherwise, I've rambled on for 10 minutes again. Thank you very much for joining. I hope you enjoyed it. Send me your questions, please, and your comments and your feedback. Anything at all would be great. Just some more interaction. Thank you if you're watching on LinkedIn or on Twitter or on Facebook or on YouTube. And I'll see you back here at 7:45 tomorrow morning. Please share today's show with your friends and your colleagues in the industry if you think it was interesting. Thanks, guys. Have a fantastic day. Bye-bye.